Hello everybody and welcome to SnackTube. Today I've got something from the depths of the farm foods freezers. This is something that I've not actually bought before, just because I've always thought it looked a bit pish compared to something that you might get in the real world, like something from a kebab shop. So I've picked this up. It's an MJ's Diner kebab meat and chips. So I am a big fan of kebab meat. I really enjoy it. So I do like to get a kebab meat and chips, sometimes with cheese from my local kebab place. So this is kebab meat and cheesy chips. So this was in the freezer aisle at Farm Foods. It was like £1 for it, so it's not very expensive. And it comes in a tray and you sort of do it in the oven. So figured I'd get this and give it a try. It shows on the packet here the meat with sauce on it, which I've just realised it doesn't come with any sauce, which means it might be a bit dry, but we'll give it a try anyway and see what it's like. So kebab meat is generally best when you get it from a kebab shop and it's been sheared off the big thing fresh. I've had frozen kebab meat before. I've had that kebab thing for the first video ever on the channel was a kebab thing. I had kebab meat and chips as well from the Heat Me Eat Me range, so I've had that on here as well. So I figured I would get this and try it and see if it's any better, because neither of those were particularly good. And as far as frozen kebab meat goes, you don't tend to get any that are anywhere near as good as what you can get from a proper takeaway. Because I've tried another one from Farm Foods, which comes in a bag. It's like their own brand of kebab meat, and there's one that you can get from Iceland as well. I don't think it's Iceland brand, but it's only in Iceland, and that stuff's disgusting. The Farm Food stuff's quite nice, but the stuff from Iceland is vile. I don't know what it is about it, but it's disgusting. Eh? But anyway, figured I would get this and try it, and this is more like a meal, and it's prepared for you. It's got chips and stuff like that, and you don't just do it in the microwave. You actually have to do it in the oven. So before I show you it, so you can see what it's like, let's have a wee look at the instructions. So what you're supposed to do, it comes with a wee cheese pot. So you put it in for 15 minutes, take it out, turn the stuff over, add the cheese, and then put it in for another 10. Which, looking at it, to be honest, I think is probably a bit much. But I'll show you why I'm feeling that way in a wee second. So let's have a look at the description here. It's cooked sliced doner kebab meat with crinkle cut potato chips with grated coloured analog, mozzarella and Gouda mix and frozen. What? Let me read that again. Cooked sliced doner kebab meat with crinkle cut potato chips. Okay, that all makes sense. With grated coloured analog, mozzarella and Gouda mix and frozen. That doesn't make sense. The words make sense, but the order that they're in makes no sense at all. Okay, who makes this? What's this company? MJ's Diner? I've never seen anything else made by MJ's Diner that I can think of. This is the only thing I can think of that they make. So, let me see if there's actually a No, the company is MJ's Diner, CEO, Sandhills Business Park in Liverpool. Weird. Okay, so what's in it? Doner kebab meat, 30%, crinkle cut chips, 61%, grated coloured analog mozzarella and Gouda mix, 9%. The doner meat contains 60% chicken, 10% beef, 5% lamb, and then the rest is rusk, plus the seasoning, which has got salt, onion powder, chili powder, black pepper, stabilisers in it, garlic powder. Okay, crinkle cut chips are just potatoes and palm oil and dextrose, and the coloured analog cheese contains water, vegetable oil, modified starch, reconstituted skimmed milk, sodium chloride, lactic acid, annatto, beta-carotene, paprika. The mozzarella contains milk, salt, E509, potato starch, Gouda. Oh, sorry, the Gouda contains milk and salt. Okay, so it's got milk in it. Do not refreeze after defrosting. Don't know why you would defrost it. You're supposed to cook it from frozen. Right? Doesn't say necessarily, but I feel like if I had cooked this from defrosted, it'd be burnt. Customer care, blah blah blah. Don't need to read that. Nutritional information. Okay, so it only gives you it per 100 grams on here, which is another one of my pet peeves, as you know. 100, just the whole thing is 330 grams. No one's sitting and picking out 100 grams of this and just eating it. Just tell me how much the whole thing is, and then I can, so I don't have to work it out. Like, I feel like the only reason they do that, put it in 100 gram as 100 grams, isn't because they're lazy, but it's to try and be deceptive to make it look less shitty for you than it actually is. But I added it all up using my MyFitnessPal app, and it's got 195 calories per 100 grams, so it's about 650 odd calories. Fat, you're talking about 40 grams of fat, which is a lot. Saturates is almost 16 grams of saturates, which is ridiculous. Your maximum you're supposed to have in a day is 20. So a lot of saturated fat. Carbs, about 40 grams of carbs as well, which carbs isn't too bad. I certainly wouldn't recommend you have this if you're on keto. Sugars is low, it's like a gram. Protein, fair amount of protein. There's chicken in this, so it's got about 20 grams of protein, and then salt is about 4 grams as well, which is almost half your daily allowance for salt. So it's not good for you. Definitely not good for you. I mean, the calories, 650 calories, isn't actually that bad, but most of those calories are fat. 40 grams of fat, 17 odd grams of that is your saturates. That's a lot. That's pretty bad for you. But hey, kebab meat, you know what you're getting into. Kebab meat isn't good for you. It is really bad for you. I actually remember just recently seeing a study. It was on the BBC, and it was saying which takeaways were the worst ones for you. Which ones were the best ones. Pizza was by far the worst one, but then second was kebabs, and then right at the bottom was like Chinese. So Chinese takeaways are actually alright. Takeaways from like McDonald's, Burger King, stuff like that are deceptively okay, but they're actually quite bad for you. The reason they seem not too bad is because they actually serve you smaller portions, whereas you go to a kebab shop, you ask for kebab meat and chips, it can vary a lot. They'll give, like the place I go to, they give you a load of chips and a shitload of kebab meat, and they have to use sellotape to hold the box down, and that's why I like it, because it's more than enough food than you need. But anyway, we're rambling. So let's give this wee thing a go and see what it's like. Right, I'll show you it with the camera. I can tip this up. It's the tray's not hot anymore, but you basically just put the tray straight in the oven. But there it is there, right? Now, I've not put any seasoning or anything on this, any salt or anything. I probably will once the cameras have stopped rolling, but obviously for the review, we want to try it as it comes. But as you can see, the cheese, it's not just melted, it's like proper baked on, which is more melty than I would like it. I don't want my cheese crispy, I want it to be nice and gooey. The kebab meat itself does look really dry, like overcooked. So if you buy the stuff in the bags, the kebab meat that you get from Farm Foods, it tells you you're supposed to cook it for 12 minutes. This has been in the oven for 25, so that's almost twice, well that's more than twice as long as you would do the stuff in the bag for, so it just seems like it's too much. You probably need 25 minutes to cook the chips. I think for this, if I was doing it again next time, I'd probably take the kebab meat out and then just cook it for the last 15 minutes or something. But let's give it a try anyway and see what we've got. So we'll go for a cheesy chip first, or cheesy chips. So we'll just do it in bits. But this is the kebab meat and cheesy chips. Let's give it the old taste test. Okay, the chips are standard frozen chips, really, to be honest. Nothing special about them. Very normal. Not like good quality ones at all. They're kind of like cheap. If you got like Asda Smart Price crinkle cut chips, that's kind of what they taste like. Very dry. So they definitely need some salt and vinegar, but they taste fine. Taste fine. The cheese, there's not a lot of the cheese, so it's hard to really discern where the cheese is, to be honest. It's a tiny wee pot of cheese you get, so there's not a lot of it. The chips are just standard cheap, really cheap, crinkle cut chips. Nothing special about them. They just kind of taste normal. But let's try this kebab meat. See how this comes off. So it does taste the same as the farm food stuff that you get in a bag. It's got the same flavours. Very slight. Oh god. I was going to say very slight spiciness to it. It's really hit the back of my throat there. That's a lot more moist. I'm guessing that wasn't on the top, it was underneath. It's definitely got the very similar kebab meat flavours that you would get from kebab meat in a shop. And a takeaway, sorry. But takeaway kebab meat tends to be mostly lamb as opposed to this, which is mostly chicken. It's only 5% lamb. So you lose that great lamb flavour, because lamb has a really, really unique flavour. So you don't really get that with this. It's more the spices that you can taste. My biggest gripe is just how insanely dry it is. I mean, even some of the edges are just a little bit burnt. They're dry as anything. They've just gone completely crispy. Kebab meat, you don't want to be crispy. You want it to be maybe some slight crisp around some of the edges, but you want it to be sort of, you want it to move. You want it to be floppy and juicy. Well, it's just very, very dry. It's hard to get down. And the cheese doesn't really add much. Well, that's really dry. I can taste the cheese a lot on that bit, just because that bit had tons of cheese on it, but for the most part, the cheese doesn't get around enough. There's nowhere near enough of it. So it's like, just a little sprinkle. So for the most part, you can't really tell that there's cheese there. Just very, very, it's like hinting at cheese. Okay. So I would say this is, it's okay for what it is. I wouldn't do the meat for as long. I would take the meat out and do that separately for just only 15 minutes maybe, rather than the full 25. And I could do with some sauce, because it is incredibly dry. I'm going to go cover this in salt and vinegar. Just to make it a bit less dry and make the chips less bland as well, because the chips on their own are just bland. They're just cheap chips. You need to put some salt on them or some sauce or something. But yeah, it's dry. It's okay. I mean, for a pound, it's not bad. I would say it's worth it for a pound. It's definitely better than any of the microwavable ones that you can get. Like the microwavable kebab meat and chips was awful. Like even the chips themselves were just really poor. Like nowhere near as good as McCain microwave chips, because McCain microwave chips are actually quite good. So I'd say if you want a kebab meat and chips thing without too much effort, then just buy this. But you're better off buying the bags of kebab meat and then just buy some chips, because those bags of kebab meat aren't that expensive, and the bag of chips from Farm Foods will cost you like £1 or £1.50 or something anyway. So you just do that yourself, and then you can have as much cheese as you want. Maybe put it in a wrap, make yourself a nice hoagie type thing. That's what I like to do. So yeah, that's about it really. This thing, it hits the spot. It's enough food to fill you, but it's not great. It's dry, and I think you need to add quite a few things to it to make it worth eating, or to make it nice. I would say, add some pickles, add some sauce, maybe chuck some onions on there, or put it inside a wrap or something. I don't know. Anyway, I think that'll do for today. That's MJ's Diner kebab meat and cheesy chips. I just want to point out the mascot there. It's a penguin holding a pound. I love penguins. That's cute. I like that. So yeah. Oh, when is it best before? March 2021. It's got a year on it. That's not bad. So thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, give it the old thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel as well, so you can come back and watch me every single Wednesday and Sunday, which is when I upload my videos to a week. And yeah, hit the wee bell if you want notifications anytime one of my videos comes out. And yeah, just leave a comment as well. If you want me to try something in particular, leave me a comment and I will get round to it eventually. I've got a backlog of videos that sort of need to go up all the time, so I change it about. But if there's something really cool that you want me to try, let me know in the comments. And follow me on Instagram as well. I've got a big Insta there with all kinds of photos and stuff, so check it out. Well, that's me. This has been the MJ's Diner Kebab Meat and Cheesy Chips. I have been Matty, and this has been SnackTube. You all have yourselves a fantastic day. Cheers.